Hey guys, it's me, Rebecca. Welcome back to Ceramica's Facebook page or wherever you're viewing this. So we have a new sort of video style that we'll be doing today. Before I forget to mention, make sure to check out my pieces, my 3 favorite pieces of the week on Instagram. I posted them on there. See if your piece made it on there. These are pretty awesome. And that's Sam in the background working real hard. Round of applause. Thank you, Sam, so much for that. So the type of video we're going to be doing today is an instruction video. So I'm going to guide you through a project. This project today will be a watermelon bowl. See, the inside looks just like the red with the seeds, and the outside is like its skin. So I will do this instruction video, and if you're interested, you can go online and shop, and you can add this kit to your cart. It comes included with all the paints, all the brushes, and the sponge that you'll need to make this, and then you can use this video to help you through anything else you need. All right? So to get started today with our project, we're gonna take our bowl. It shows a little different style. This is our cottage bowl. It's on our website. It's round, very cute. You could eat your cereal, some fruit or something out of it. Very cute. So I'm gonna take my bowl, and I'm gonna take my sponge that we'll send to you when you get this kit. So I'm going to dampen my sponge in the water a little bit. Don't go over the top. So you take it, give it a good squeeze, really good squeeze, you know, get that extra water out. And we're gonna clean up any dirt or dust inside our bowl. Just clean it up real good. I love Justin Timberlake. He's playing on the radio. I love him. It's really cool. I went to go see him as my first concert. Anyways, once you're finished cleaning out your bowl really nice and well, make sure there's nothing inside, there's no marks or anything. We're gonna move on to the next step, which will be painting, and we will be painting the outside first. Repeat, the outside first, okay? This is an important part. This is an important step, so we can paint the outside first, so we don't have to manipulate it. Once the outside is done, we can just turn it over and we're all set. We don't have to keep going back and forth. So, let me tilt this camera down a little bit. So here is my turntable, here's my bowl ready to paint. So in this kit, there comes 4 colors. It is black, dark green, light green, and red. These are the only colors you're gonna be needing. And the brushes that I have with me today is one big one. It's a little fluffier to, you know, get the full coverage, and I have a small one, all right? So now the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to take that green color that I have right here, and we're gonna do the whole outside in that lighter green, all right? Just gonna open this up. We'll do about 2 coats, you know, be a little generous. You don't want it to be full coverage because we want that little opaque, you know, it gives it some texture. All right, so I'm gonna paint this. Alrighty guys, since I finished painting my 2 to 3 generous coats of the light green with my big fluffy brush, I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes. I want it to be completely dry before I start the next step. So as you can see, the darker patches are where it's still drying. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes, and then I'll get started with the instructions on the next step. A few minutes for me. Alrighty guys, now that I've waited for my bowl to dry completely, you're gonna see that I turned that lighter green instead of when it was darker, when it was all wet. Now that it's mostly pretty much fully dry, we're gonna move on to the next step. So, along with having that light green color on the outside, it has the dark green stripes with that texture, so it's not like a straight line. So What we're gonna do to achieve that texture is we're gonna be using a sponge. So this will also come in your kit if you choose to order this. So the next color we'll be using is that dark green that will be coming in your kit. Alrighty. So you're gonna want to open your little container of paint, and you're going to take that same brush that we use the light green to paint the bowl. You're gonna wash it so it's nice and clean now. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna dip into this green right here. See, you got some big little scoop there. And we're gonna paint it on sponge just like this. We don't want to dip the sponge directly into the container of paint, just because it seems to get a little messy and then you'll end up wasting. We don't want it to spill, stuff like that. So this is a lot easier, trust me. So you're gonna dip into it and you're going to paint the sponge. It's gonna end up looking like that. Do as much or as little at a time as you want. Just make sure it's controllable, you know, so you can make those stripes. All right, let's see. Let's do the first one together. So now that my bowl is all dry, I can touch it and pick it up. So I think the first stripe I'm gonna want is right here. And I'm gonna press gently, just like that. Try and even it out if you like. If you wanna do wiggly stripes, it doesn't matter. And now, as I run out of paint, I'm just gonna do the edges. So it looks a little more natural, just like that. So do the edges, just like that. There we go. That's our first stripe. How awesome is that? Keep going to your desired thickness, whatever you like. So that's our first stripe. And now we're gonna repeat the process until the bowl is fully covered in stripes. So we're gonna take more paint it right on here, and do another stripe. You don't have to do it as close. You can do it a little farther apart if you like, but I think I'll do mine closer together just because I like lots of stripes on it. I like these too. These seem to be a little thicker, so I'm gonna make mine a little thicker, just like this. All right. Okay guys, now that I've done all of my stripes, this is how it looks. Some are a little thicker and some are thinner, but I kind of like how it looks a little uneven. Looks a little natural. So once you finish doing that with your sponge, you got all your stripes down. This may seem a little tedious, but just to make sure that we have a really nice dark layer of green, I suggest going over with your sponge and doing a second coat. So just dabbing on top of those stripes that you already made one more time, just to make sure it's nice and dark, and when it comes out of the kiln, it's nice and bright and not streaky. All right, so I'm gonna do that right now. All right, so now that I did that second layer, it still looks a little wet, so I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, let it dry. And then we will move on to the next step. Alrighty guys, now that I've waited for this to dry and it looks pretty good, it's not wet, so now I'm going to flip it over and we're going to do the inside of our watermelon bowl. It's gonna be nice and clean and white, just like this. And for the next part, we are going to, yet again, use our fluffy brush. I cleaned it, took all the green off, and now it's ready to go. We're gonna use our dark red. Open that up, and we're gonna start painting the inside of our bowl. So you're gonna wanna do 2 to 3 generous coats of paint for the inside, and we're gonna do everything red. All right? All right, now that we've finished painting the inside red with those 2 to 3 really like thick, generous coats, because we want it to be nice and dark, it'll look just like that. So it's still wet, so it's a little dark. The paint will get lighter. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry. But in the meantime, I suggest on the edges where the green and the red meet, if there's any sort of like things you want to fix up or any white spots, I'd say use your smaller brush and dip into the red, and then just clean those little edges up if you'd like. All right? Alrighty guys, now that our inside of our bowl has been drying for quite some time, you can't touch it, make sure it's all set, make sure it's dry, turn that light color so it should be nice and dry. And now we can move on to our last step. Our last step will be making the black seeds inside of the watermelon, just like that. So we're gonna take our black, and what we're gonna be using is our smaller brush. Sam's looking at me making faces, sorry. I seem distracted. So we're gonna open up our black paint, and sometimes when I'm making like small dots or fine lines or something, I like to twist the end of my little brush just to make sure there's no like stray hairs. Sometimes a little weird, but like whatever, I think it works. So there we go. We're gonna dip into our black, just like that. We don't want too much because we don't want the spots to drip, little seeds. And you know what? I'm gonna go for the first one right in the middle. Woo! You know what? I kind of like them a little bigger, so I'm gonna go for something like that. How's that look, Sam? Good. Thanks. And now we're gonna keep going. As many spots as you like, but you know, I like my watermelon with just a few seeds, so I guess we'll see what I'll end up with. All right, guys, I just finished making all of my dots, my little black seeds that are all on the inside of the bowl. They're super cute. I ended up with a lot more than I thought, but I think it's really cute. I like it. So you may be wondering, Rebecca, we did 2 or 3 coats on everything else. Are you gonna do 2 or 3 coats on the black seeds? The answer is no. I'll give you an explanation for that, actually. Black is such a dark color that if we do more than 1 coat, it's kind of unnecessary just because it will show up like on top of any other color. So we're good with the 1 coat. Just, you know, make sure you got a thick little glob on there for your seeds, all right? So this is how it's gonna look when it's done. Shiny. Shiny, super smooth. The colors will get a lot brighter and darker right here. And our finished product looks just like this. It's really pretty. It's really light right now, but it's gonna come out super awesome. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed my little video tutorial for today. I thought it was pretty fun, you know. Comment below if you think you'd like to see another one of these or any suggested projects. Hopefully I'll be coming out with a Mother's Day one soon. So yeah, thank you guys so much for helping us out, you know, ordering from small business. Thanks for supporting our small business during these tough times. All right, have a great week, guys. Thank you. Ooh, I saw the sign, but it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign.